My name's Edgar. I'm from Villa Park, Illinois.
I first came to know Edgar back in 2015. His family was involved in an open abuse and neglect case, and he was about 14 years old.
But at home, I was focused on my siblings. We had to make sure they were ready to go to school. They were dressed. We had to make sure they were fed.
His parents were involved in a juvenile abuse and neglect case. Edgar was very mature and from a very young age took on a lot of responsibility for his family. So in addition to being in advanced placement classes in high school and being the captain of the football team, he also cared for his siblings. He would get up in the morning and get them ready for school, make their lunches, come home after school, make them a snack, make sure they were okay, go off to football practice, come back, take care of them at night. And also he had part-time jobs while all this was going on as well.
I was introduced to CASA through my advocate, Mrs. Lewis Seho.
His advocate was Lois. She was the advocate for Edgar and his 4 siblings. She was wonderful with him. She basically got the ball rolling and put some plans in place for him that have affected and led to where he is today. The kids, Edgar and his siblings, really came to like Lois. She was always coming around for visits and always had positive things to say and was always helpful with things like their homework, and she was very interested in what he was doing.
Actually got me to my first ever football camp, which really exposed me to a lot of colleges and a lot of college coaches. It was like somebody who was just there who loves you and wishes the best for you. Well, at the beginning, I had to go to school early, do my homework, and then sometimes stay a little bit later to print some stuff out or do some other homework.
He did not have a tablet or a laptop, so CASA was able to provide a laptop for him, the first he's ever had in his life, and he was very excited about that.
I needed a computer, so CASA stepped in and I got my first ever computer that I had ever had, and things just got a lot easier from there. At the time, CASA was trying to help me transition from high school to college. They were trying to see my options and what I had on the table at the time. I ended up going to College of DuPage. Freshman year of college, I had been evicted from my home and I didn't really have a place to stay. Kind of was staying in my car for a bit, and I stayed with a friend for a little bit. Ended up going to a homeless shelter for a day to try to find a home, and
he came to me and informed me that he was basically homeless and he was living in his car. He came to my office to see me, and I was obviously very upset about that, and I made a commitment to him that I wasn't going to let him leave that day until we found him a place to go. So CASA provided him with a lot of gift cards and gas cards, and I contacted his social worker through St. Pius Church and pulled her in, and through her we were able to find a family through their church who so graciously took Edgar in.
She ended up finding somebody to help me stay with, and it was somebody who I loved. It was an old school principal from middle school, and she was the best. Her husband had coached me in basketball, and she was my computer teacher at the time, so they've gotten me to accomplish the dream that I've always wanted to accomplish, and that's to be the first in my family to go to college and be the first in my family to pursue the big dreams.
And I'll never forget the day that he called me to tell me that he was accepted and that he had been granted a scholarship. He was over the moon happy, and I screamed when he called me and told me on the phone. It was just a very, very happy moment. And he was with his social worker, Jennifer Hassler, and she was screaming in the background too. We were all really excited.
I'm going to be playing football, but I'm also going to be studying psychology. I'm majoring in psychology and minoring in a business field or philosophy. Still in between on the minor, but I'm hoping to go into law school after that.
He has a unique ability to advocate for himself, and he's not afraid to ask for help, which has been a real strength for him. We try really hard at CASA to let kids know that they can achieve their dreams and things are possible for them, and they're not so different from other kids.
It's just like a whole team. I had a whole team around me. It's kind of like a football team almost.
Edgar's story is a great story, but it's one of thousands of stories that we have at CASA. We have served over 2,000 children in the last 26 years, and every single child has their story. It leads me back to my belief that one person can change a child's life, and our advocates do that every single day.
I'd say, no matter what, just don't give up on what you think is your dream, or stick to your own vision, because there's always people who are going to be there to help you, like CASA, who helped me. There were times when it just feels really hard, and you don't really understand why things are happening, but you just want to push through it and keep going and never settle for anything. You want to keep going and keep working for what you want and strive for the best.